So first of all, Lynn is a major part of Friday nights. Do you guys know that? Without Lynn, all of us would be sitting out here humming because we don't know the words. But Lynn is the one sitting back there, making sure that we can see the words every Friday night. But that's not just what Lynn does. Lynn is a graduate of Grace House.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little story about Lynn. So when we took over Grace House, Lynn was pretty set in her ways. And she was mad at me because I didn't think her ways were working too well. So we decided we were going to, what would you say we did? We dug in our heels? Yeah. And we went heads a little bit. And guess what? God did some amazing things in Lynn's life and showed her some things and showed her that there was an easier and softer way if she just
let go and let God.
Just let him handle it. Because she was trying to do it all. She was trying to do recovery and taking care of people and taking care of her kids. And she was running around and she was exhausted and she was sleeping all the time because she just didn't have the rest that the Lord had for her. Because she was working out of her strength instead of his. And then one day, Lynn said, I surrender. And I saw breakthrough. And now you've graduated. You've moved out, which I have to tell you, we thought she was going to be a permanent fixture, just saying. But she didn't. She moved out, and she's doing really well. And I'm very, very proud of you.
You know what? I'm just going to take a second and one of my favorite parts of this ministry is recovery ministry. And, God called me to the recovery ministry. I've never been to a 12-step meeting of any kind. I believe that that's an integral part of recovery, and I believe in 100%, but I've never been to that meeting. Sometimes folks come in the house and said, I don't agree with this, with that, with everything else. And I said, wait a minute, God didn't call me to Grace House, to Judgment Goes On, or to run that house. God called me to be the encourager to each and every one of you. And so this is one of my favorites. And so even though you're not at Grace House anymore, I want to continue to encourage you to walk the walk that you're walking now. Let God have it. Let things happen in God's time. One of my 4 pillars of recovery is when you make the turn, you become a giver, not a taker. So right here is a giver. Made that turn. So praise God. We love you, sister.
So in the time that I've known Lynn, when she started doing our, what do they call that?
Overhead.
The PowerPoint. Hey, I know. When she started doing the PowerPoint, I've watched her grow a lot over the last, how long has it been, a year? And she's had struggles, and she's talked to me about stuff, but you know what? She let God persevere through her to overcome all those things that she's gone through. And I've seen her get back with her family and her grandkids in her life. And that's the most important thing I think that people get out of recovery is the restoration with your family and your friends and the community at large. And with yourself. And with Rhonda. And I'm very proud of you, Lynn. We love you. And now it's your turn to talk.
Oh, great. Hi. Hi there, guys. I've never even held one of these before. So, okay, put it up here. Can you hear me? All right. I've met so many great people. So I'm so blessed. And I did let go. I just took a breath and just let go. And it took me about a year to do it. And I've been there. I'm a very stubborn woman. Okay? I like to be in control. Things like that. We're working on that, aren't we, Adriana? Yeah.
That goes along with being stubborn, that control thing.
But I have, and my mind doesn't race. I was talking to Adriana this week, and I said, I don't know if I just am numb or don't care, or if I just let God. I surrender, and I'm okay. you know, I'm just okay. And I wasn't when I came in to Steps of Freedom over a year ago. You know, I came from Scottsdale with a broken leg and very stubborn, and my mind raced, and I had no relationship. My relationship with my daughter was horrendous, and my son didn't even talk to me. And now I have 2 more grandchildren, you know, so 4 altogether. And my son calls me, my daughter calls me every day, and I have a relationship with my family, and that's all I ever want is my family, and that's what has happened. So just keep it up, you know, even if it seems like it's crazy and hard, just go through it and just let go, you know. And he works for me. So all right.
We love you.